Hello and welcome to another fun-filled edition of Adam's Music Box, where today it's all about drums. So, do you like Buddy Rich? Do you like John Bonham? Do you like Keith Moon? Do you like Billy Cobham? Do you like Tony Williams and Elvin Jones? Do you like Philly Joe Jones and Papa Joe Jones? Do you like Neil Peart? Do you like Coral Palmer? Do you like Bill Bruford? The list could go on. Do you like Art Blakey and Max Roach? Because if you like any of those great drummers that I've mentioned, you have to give a big tip of your hat to Gene Krupa. Because Gene Krupa was the godfather of the modern drum set and of the modern drummer. Now, the first drummer to use what we would generally recognize as a modern drum set was someone called Baby Dodds. But the person who made the drums a popular instrument, as opposed to something in the background, in the sort of popular music world, it was Gene Krupa. Now, of course, percussion instruments, as a family of instruments, are the oldest instruments in the world. And they've been used in every genre of music, from spiritual music to folk music, to European classical music, particularly in the form of the timpani or kettle drum. But in terms of the modern drum set that has been a lodestone of so many modern genres, jazz, modern pop music, modern folk music, really, country and western music, funk, soul, R&B, modern gospel music, every type of rock and roll, every type of jazz, etc. That all dates back to the 20s when this modern drum set came to be. And the person who, as a young guy, pushed this into the limelight was Gene Krupa. Now, Gene Krupa came of age in the era of the jazz big band, the swing big band, if you will. And he was particularly associated with Benny Goodman, one of the most famous of all of the big bands of that era. And Krupa turned the drums into an instrument that took solos and that was featured prominently in the compositions of new and interesting pieces. Think Sing, Sing, Sing. You'll know it when you hear it. And this made everyone want to play the drums. It made the girls want to get with the drummer. All of this, all of these stereotypes that come from some truth, all of this was down to Gene Krupa. Now, he was a really good drummer. He was known for his showmanship. He was known for his speed. He was known for playing drum solos with matchsticks and doing all sorts of stunts. He was really a drummer that had fun with the drums and made the drums unignorable, because for an instrument that's traditionally on the loud side, before Gene Krupa, not too many people were paying attention to percussion. After Gene Krupa, everyone was. And he quickly gave rise to a new generation of drummers, people like Buddy Rich, whose style owed pretty much everything to Krupa. Rich took it in a direction that was even faster and even more technical, but he really owed his place in history to Gene Krupa. And so did every drummer that came after him, both from the way the drum set was set up, to the kinds of ways you would solo, to the ways you would accompany things. Gene Krupa really started it all. If Les Paul and people like Chet Atkins can be seen as the father of the modern guitar, then you could really say that Gene Krupa was that for the drums. And when he really came out, he had no direct competition. Now, it was on this day in 1973 that Gene Krupa played his final ever concert. And when he never really lost any respect among the music community. That kind of swing music, yeah, of course, it went out of fashion in the 50s, frankly, but he remained big in what they called jazz combos. And by the early 70s, he was doing Benny Goodman reunions, which by then had become a legacy act. But for drummers out there today who really want to know where it all came from, it came from Gene Krupa. So if you play the drums, if you like drummers, if you've got a favorite drummer, thank Gene, because you know that they did. Like, subscribe. We will see you next time.